Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to a little news segment where we're bringing you up to speed with the breaking news from this afternoon that Everton have run their proposal by the council, and the council are very confident. They say that the planning permission will be approved and that work could start on the stadium in the next few weeks. Excellent news. I'm joined by Terry and Owen for this one. Terry, what's your reaction to this news?
I mean, it's good news. It's good news insofar as it's got a hard, fast decision date on it now. I mean, don't forget, it was meant to be planning permission summer 2020, then it was late summer 2020, then it was all good, autumn 2020, then it was before the end of the year, then it was early 2021, and we know why it's happened. Like the meetings for the council basically weren't as straightforward as they once were because of COVID. And it's just been getting kicked down the road and no definitive sort of date set on it. Now this decision is concrete. It's like, next Tuesday, and basically we're suggesting that it gets passed. Like the expert opinion is, you should pass this. It's a really good idea. They don't foresee any issues with it. Here's the roadmap for going forwards. Do you reckon the council will pass it? It will then get called in by the government as standard for a build of that size. They get 21 days to basically look at it and decide if they want to, knock it back or change anything, which, let's be honest, not impossible, but not likely considering, the government's sort of view of things is build in the wake of COVID. It's good news. It's very good news. It's not the definitive news people want, and I know there's a little bit of cynicism because of the result last night, but I think this was coming anyway. They don't think Everton dictates the council.
Yeah, I would say this. I mean, it's not that I'm not happy about the news. It's excellent news. It's just that I look at the new stadium now as a potential stadium and a shiny new arena for us to have the same 2-0 home defeat to Fulham in. That's kind of
it's very good
side of me.
This is so much bigger than any set of results, any individual season. It's about the stadium, the club's new home. So they're going to get the decision on Tuesday. It's likely to be yes. It's very likely to be yes. Then it goes to the government. The government get a 2 to 3 week window to look at it, and then it's very likely they'll just kick it back and go, that's great, get that built, and then we could have a spade in the ground and we're off to the races.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see if we could have like a spade in the ground by like April, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, just to see. It'll feel different then. It'll feel real when you see. It's real. Yeah, when you see like that, those walls, those Bramley-Moore Dock walls, and you can see work getting done in there. You can see men with high visors on and hard hats. You'll be like, but it's actually happening. It's not just a concept. It's not just a picture on a PowerPoint. Then it's a physical, tangible thing. You can go down and see it, and that'll be huge just for overall, just everything at the club. I was just looking at the pictures of it, then the concept art for it. It's going to be amazing, not just for Everton but for the city when it's done.
Yeah, it's really good news. I mean, like you say, I think it's obviously been a tough time financially for the city as well, which is like that could really help boost that side of things as well. I don't think there's anyone in the right mind would object to this from a City of Liverpool standpoint.
No,
historic England, we've got a real big issue with it.
Yeah, historic England.
Those type of bodies only exist to object to things like this. That is their sole function, and I understand that they've got a point of view and they'll look at it saying, well, we're not just doing it for the sake of it. We actually do believe these things, but you can't knock back £1 billion of investment and 15,000 jobs into the city in the wake of possibly the worst financial crisis ever for the sake of, well, I don't think we should infill the dock. The Liverpool one is only there because of the infilled docks. Same with the Liver building. One of the reasons we've got the UNESCO heritage status is because they built the Liver building on a filled-in dock. This will be another jewel in the crown of Liverpool, and I know people in good faith will say this will be brilliant for the city. I know Liverpool fans might go, well, I don't think it's a good idea for X, Y, and Z. The lying to themselves.
The small ships.
Yeah, you cannot sit there and say it's a bad thing or it shouldn't happen, other than the fact that I support Liverpool and I don't want Everton to have a nice thing. Liverpool, if they had their title parade, say they got to have it next week, that would be, and it was safe, obviously, that would be enormous for the city. It would give a massive boost to all their businesses. I wouldn't like that they're having a title parade because they've won a title and I support Everton, but it on a strictly, you think of
business
the economy of the
side,
city,
from the business perspective.
You've got to take your specs off. It's not about the game between 22 men on a weekend. When it comes to that, it's £1 billion of investment and 15,000 jobs. It's fantastic for the city. If Liverpool said we're making a stadium as well and we're going to put just as much in, we're going to generate another billion, another 15,000 jobs, and we're going to be on the other end of the dock, I'd be like, fine, brilliant, like all more the merrier, because we need it right now. It's not about football; it's about people's jobs and livelihoods.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a step in the right direction for both the club and the city. Yeah, it's one of them. It'll be great to see that spade in the ground.
It's some positive news in a otherwise negative, miserable period, for not just in terms of yesterday's result, but in terms of the whole sort of mood around the country at the moment. I think from the city's point of view, it's to potentially move the situation on further to where we can get closer to building something that's going to bring in sort of more jobs and money for the city. I think it's really good news from an Everton point of view. It'd be really good to get it going, to sort of distract us from when we do get beat. We can just look at the pictures and the progress of a new stadium. So every time we get beat, we can just look at that and feel slightly better about ourselves. So
yeah, it's one of them. At least it won't be like this. At least we won't have to have the cynicism of stadium announcements. Then we can just walk to the Dock Road and like enjoy the progress from there.
At least when we get beat around to Crystal Palace in about 3 weeks' time, I can look at that stadium and imagine getting beat to Crystal Palace in that stadium. So it's just a bit of positivity, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. But yeah, there you have it, guys.
I've even managed to bring a negative light onto that, so just don't talk to me.
Imagine the Box Stadium on the banks of the Royal Blue Mersey and Graham Potter's managing inside it.
Yeah, I won't be there.
When you think about the price of the stadium, it's meant to be £500 million, isn't it? 500 million. It's going, that's 2.5 Neymars. Isn't that stupid? Like, the stadium is 2.5 Neymars. Like, that's how much the players are. Like, it's not even a full team of Wilfried Zaha's when we wanted to buy him.
Mad, isn't it?
Unbelievable. Like, just how expensive the players are. But we played a part in that. We jacked the prices up as much as anyone did, so we can't cry foul on that one. But honestly, and I understand the sort of cynicism of, there's going to be a stadium announcement this week because we lost to Fulham. The stadium is much bigger and much more overarching than any result. It's just not like that. Like, it's not the definitive news that you want, but it's basically a time and a date of, you're getting the definitive news next week, then then the clock's ticking on when we can start. It's going to get passed, and then we'll take it from there, and could hopefully see spades in and soon.
That'll be excellent. I mean, if there's anything we all want, at least it'll stop the Toffee fella going into the dock and like filming the cone.
Yeah. Well, if he's lucky, he might get a job on it.
Yeah.
Move the cones
progress report.
Much as move the cones around as much as he wants. Then, and that's another thing. That's when when the building starts, you get all the other fun stuff. Then of like fellas putting videos online of when they're on site and they put a Liverpool shirt in the concrete foundation that no one's ever going to see ever again. And like anyone's asked about that, it happens every time anything gets built for any football club. A workman who supports a rival team will do something like that. I'm putting this Liverpool scarf in the concrete foundation going, sound, mate, it's you just...
Because we really won't win a game until we remove it.
We'll have to get rid of that.
Yeah, so one of them. God knows how many Arsenal shirts are in that new Tottenham ground.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, well, honestly, it is, though. It's great news, and hopefully it won't be long until we do get some workmen going through them dock gates and getting some progress on that front. So we have to keep our eyes open. Obviously, the big sort of day for all this is a week tomorrow, Tuesday the 23rd of Feb. Definitely keep your eyes open for that, and check out this channel as well. We'll keep you up to date with that on here as well. So make sure you tune in for that. Drop us a comment on this video as well as know your opinions on this news update. Give the video a like and subscribe. And until next time, thank you for watching on the Toffee Blues.